Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all remembering to invest. Hope you're all putting your money to good use. And that you're all having a great day. A very big thank you to every single person who leaves a like on the videos. It helps out the algorithm a lot. I know I say it often. It's because it's true. We live in the future. Things are run by algorithms. That's just how things work now. Yeah. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. The accumulation frenzy continues. It's probably not going to slow down anytime soon. We have been on top of the, dare I say, near constant companies buying up cryptocurrency news. We've been getting sprinkles of there are a number of expectations that over the rest of this year and also next year, and I say this as lightly as humanly possible, that there may be a number of crypto integrations into traditional finance, not just through ETFs. You'll see what I'm talking about, but there's a lot of hype around it, and we're gonna dip one toe into it so we can lightly go over it. But yes, a lot of people believe that this year was basically the carpet being rolled out, and next year being kind of like one of the big shebangs for crypto to go extremely mainstream. It's not incorrect, but I do also think it's a bit exaggerated to certain points. In the best news that we've ever gotten in at least a century and a half, or at least that's the way that much of the websites and news platforms are actually describing it. Crypto accumulation, as I said, continues. There's no actual slowing down of it. If you missed, it must have been 7 days ago, something like that, there was a news story that, oh gosh, what is it? I think there's 450 Bitcoin being produced per day, and I think, was it 11,000 or something like that is being purchased by companies at the exact same time. So the amount of Bitcoin being accumulated by companies is far more than is actually being produced. Who would have thunk it with all this gigantic accumulation? Back in the news is everyone's second favorite company, Metaplanet. Metaplanet announced on Monday that it purchased an additional 136 Bitcoin for approximately 15.2 million US dollars as it pushes towards its target of accumulating 30,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year and 100,000 Bitcoin by the beginning of 2026. They want to have 210,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2026 as well. The Tokyo-listed investment firm apparently paid $111,000 per Bitcoin in this acquisition, according to the filing. The latest purchase pushes Metaplanet's Bitcoin investment to 2.08 billion US dollars, or 304 billion Japanese yen. The Japanese yen keeps going lower and lower, so that's why the number is bigger. At an average cost of 103, which is kind of weird, an average price of 103,000 per coin. I guess if they're purchasing at higher numbers, because I do remember, weren't some of their purchases around like 50, 60, 70,000? I guess maybe times they haven't changed. Bringing their total holdings, Metaplanet now has 20,136 Bitcoin, making it the sixth largest public corporate holder of Bitcoin worldwide. This is, I think, the first or second time that they have purchased Bitcoin like this, and it wasn't a significant number. Unless someone working in their company is 136 years old, Metaplanet has an affinity for purchasing extremely round numbers or for purchasing, significant numbers, 888, 111, 222. Like, really, they only do things like this. So I was kind of taken aback by 136 Bitcoin. With current holdings of 20,000 Bitcoin, more or less, Metaplanet has achieved approximately 67% of its 2025 target and 20% of its 2026 goal. Let's see if they actually end up making it. I'm not being cynical. It's more, as prices rise, it becomes more difficult. We have seen, or I have noticed, a number of companies. They're buying, Bitcoin all the time, but a lot of the numbers have kind of slowed down. We're not seeing some companies doing these massive purchases anymore. And I assume that's because of prices and the way that things are going. Very popular news, as you might have imagined, just because it's just Metaplanet and people love Metaplanet. And they're always in the news in some form or fashion. I assume they'll probably get to their 30,000 by the end of the year. And then people will write amazing articles about how brave and bold they are for doing this. I'm seeing that a lot now. I don't know if you've been seeing it. There's so much news with people like doing stuff with money, like buying houses or, investing in something. And the articles keep saying like, what a brave and bold move. And it's, okay, that's a bit... It's a bit intense. They're just trying to make themselves richer. It's not that bold, really, If we understand that Bitcoin is probably going to 10x, they're probably just trying to make more money. That's the Metaplanet is the best company on the entire planet because people in crypto love it news. And yeah, let's move on. All right, so here's the other really big popular one, and you'll understand, I hope you understand, near instantaneously why this made popular news. So apparently the Federal Reserve, the people who print money in the United States, are preparing for some kind of a mega conference. It says the Fed gears up for Transformative Payments Innovation Conference. Apparently, the Fed announced that they're going to have some kind of a mega conference for the future of money. As you might have imagined, the people within crypto assume that this has to do with the Fed using Bitcoin, the Fed announcing secretly in some sort of way that they're going to be using XRP. I mean, rumors are abound across the lines. This feels relatively similar to Swell. If you don't know Swell, it's Ripple's yearly event where basically they have a panel of other rich people sit on stage and talk about money and the future of payments and stuff like that. I do not think this is going to be the Fed announcing that they're going to be using crypto instead of the US dollar, but it's probably going to be them, hey, we're looking into the technology. I don't think this is going to be one of those things. The Federal Reserve Board announced on the 3rd of September that it will be hosting the Payments Innovation Conference on the 21st of October to examine the future of financial transactions in the United States. The event will bring together policymakers, technology experts, and industry leaders to explore advancements in payments and their broader implications. The Fed announcement detailed the scope of the event. It says the conference will feature panel discussions on several aspects of payments innovation, including the convergence of traditional and decentralized finance, emerging stablecoin use cases and business models, the intersection of artificial intelligence and payments, and the tokenization of financial products and services. What this is probably going to be, and I know I'm going to disappoint someone, I'm really sorry, buddy. What's probably going to end up happening is, first of all, the US is also planning on rolling out their central bank digital currency. And I'm sure someone just folded their arms and said, it's not a central bank digital currency, it's a stable coin. When you're able to tell me the difference without lying to yourselves, then we can have a proper conversation. A lot of countries around the world have found out that the term central bank digital currency is scary to the public. So instead, people want stability. So this is why they're pushing stable coins. We have seen a huge amount of ruckus with the bills that were pushed this summer. All the stablecoin bills and the Clarity Act and the Beyonce Act and all the other things that they were pushing through. This has to do with the digital strengthening of the US dollar through the digitization of way by stablecoin. So we're probably going to hear that the US's stablecoin, there will be multiple, by the way, from a number of companies as well, but the main one is probably going to be tested and rolled out sometime in 2026. This is just logic speaking to me, because a number of other countries are doing the exact same thing. The US does not ever want to be left behind. We're probably then going to hear a number of people discussing and talking about how crypto is going to do X, Y, and Z. But what the Fed is probably going to end up doing is adopting some form of a stablecoin, potentially one made by a larger bank within the actual country. The Federal Reserve of, and listen, and I'll give it to you this way. The Fed is not going to announce that they're openly using a decentralized public chain to do transactions on. That's not how shadowy figures work. They're going to do this probably on their own permissioned blockchain or a fork of something else. If you don't remember JP Morgan coin made theirs, and it was widely publicized that they used Ethereum. When you looked into it, JP Morgan forked Ethereum and made their own private blockchain, and that's where they put JP Morgan coin on top of. The program, it says, is designed to evaluate both the opportunities and risks linked to new technologies in order to foster resilience and efficiency in the financial system. Officials confirmed that the event will be live streamed on the Federal Reserve website. That's really weird. Okay. With more details on speakers and panels to be disclosed ahead of the conference. Cool. This this are popular news. This was very popular news. Namely because a lot of people in the XRP space began to spread rumors that the Fed has apparently been planning this for some time, and that they're going to announce some kind of a venture with Ripple and or XRP. And to that I say, maybe. It's totally plausible that things like that could happen, or they might have some people from Ripple on stage. But no. Yes, no, but we'll see. No. Okay. That's the Fed is hosting a live stream conference on DeFi and stablecoins and tokenization. So that's gonna be interesting to watch. And yeah, let's move on. I'm going to call this confusing news because it doesn't really make any sense. So, probably not. We've had a lot of companies, hundreds actually, who've announced that they're going to be buying a Bitcoin. Got it. We've had more than a handful. It's actually 4 hands actually, plus of companies who are going to be buying Ethereum. And then we had, I think, 2 companies. I think it was 2 companies who announced that they were going to be creating a Binance coin treasury. Okay. We had one, I think two, one for Dogecoin, one or two for Solana, and I think there was one other coin. A lot of these have, of course, disappeared. These were companies who were just trying to make it into the news and trying to get their stock prices to go higher. There was also some other meme coin company, and it's like, just stop the nonsense. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you see exactly where this one is going. A company by the name of Luxfolio. That is a real name. Luxxfolio. I assume it's supposed to be luxurious portfolio. You know how, do you know that people still use the term bling? So if you are from the States, you'll understand this. If you're not from the States, you're not going to. I travel around quite a bit. You know that there are people outside of America. So first of all, bling came from 1990s rappers. And I mean, it went out of style before we even got to 2001. It wasn't really a thing. There was that one music video with Will Smith when I was a kid, and he was something about bling, 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 whatever was going on. That's not a thing that people still use. For some reason, outside of the United States, if you're in the States, listen, people still use bling as a common term. If someone goes to out to party with their friends at nighttime and someone's wearing a shiny dress, people will go oh my gosh, your dress is so bling. When people wear diamonds, it's weird because it's not a thing. No one really talks about it anymore. But in other countries, it's unironically common that you'll actually, and I know some of you in other countries are really? Yeah, no, it's not. It's actually very tacky. If people would use it in the States, it's seen as something more of a joke in some sort of way. It's not a thing. But even then, you wouldn't joke about a reference from 25, 30 years ago. It's the same exact thing with Lux. No one in the States really uses the term Lux anymore, and I'm always surprised that other companies or people do in some sort of way. There's so many YouTube channels that try to show beautiful homes or so and so and so. No one really uses the term deluxe for anything rich or money-wise, or even luxurious. Luxurious is also a very early 2000s thing that you would hear women talking about caviar or something. No one uses these kind of terms. So whenever this is a personal rant. Whenever I see a company called Luxfolio, it sounds like 1999 January 2nd, Spice Girls on TV kind of thing. Luxfolio sounds, I don't understand. Anyway, rant over. Luxfolio, a Canadian company focused on crypto infrastructure. Really? It sounds like you have luxury portfolios of real estate. Okay. Has filed paperwork as they're trying to raise 73 million US dollars. Okay. The firm plans to use the money that they raise to support their growing focus on Litecoin. I don't understand. A shift that began this year when it moved away from Bitcoin mining. I personally, I think that Litecoin will be around in some capacity for many years to come. It's a legacy coin. It's still popular amongst the original people within the space. It has healthy, movements when the market goes up, but it has received 0.01% of the attention that Bitcoin has, even just this year or the last 10 years. I don't understand someone announcing that they're going to make a Binance coin treasury or a Tron treasury or a Pepe coin or a Doge coin. It almost feels like we're being tricked in some sort of way. Like there's someone, here's an older reference, like we're being punked in that kind of Why not Ethereum? Why not XRP? I dare even say, why not Cardano? Cardano has been in the news a good 74 times this year. Like pretty good news, integrations with Bitcoin and Ripple and all these other kinds of things. Litecoin? Unless there's something secretly happening behind the scenes that we don't know about, this hasn't been listed on anyone's list. No countries have said that they're mining Litecoin. There's no initiatives to make staking for Litecoin. Have you heard anything about Litecoin this year except for this story? Very weird. This is, and I don't know why. There must be something. Maybe behind the scenes, maybe one of the people in the company is one of the co-creators of Litecoin, or maybe they have a huge stash of it. It doesn't really make any sense. It's kind of, I mean, I have so many allegories and things that I could say, but it doesn't. Why would you, if you see that there's Wagyu or filet mignon on the table, Doritos are going to be around for a very long time, but I'm not going to go eat Doritos over like the really like expensive steak. It just doesn't. We have price projections for individual one Bitcoin hitting $1,347 million. Litecoin might at some point go to like $6,000, but it's not going to perform as well as Bitcoin. I'm not getting it. The company has made Litecoin the center of its financial strategy. Okay. Maybe they're doing what? Oh gosh. Maybe they're doing like an Ethereum thing where the price is so low that they and like 20 other companies can buy all of it. That would make sense, but also that's probably not it. The CEO described Litecoin as hard currency. What? And said that building a larger treasury, expanding infrastructure, and growing its presence in the market will help the company gain more influence and reach. Woo. He added that the new funding plan gives Luxfolio more flexibility to grow and adjust as needed. I sincerely hope that you all are having a great day. I don't get this one at all. Like I just really like, I understand if you as a company were announcing that you were making a portfolio and it, Luxfolio, haha, and it included Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, Cardano, and then your fifth coin was Litecoin. I get it. Just hedging. Got it. But as your focus, unless, let's see, for October, November, December, over the next 12 weeks, if we hear 7 other companies announcing the same, or if we hear some other country is like, hey, we like LTC because we can spell it. We're also going to make a treasury. Then I'll be, okay, Luxfolio got in front of all of them, but Litecoin? I mean, I also had the same exact thing to say about Dogecoin, but that's also, that was a whole nother story there. Okay, wow, amazing. Well, I hope you got something from the video. Hope you've all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening. This is the weirdest news that we've had in a while. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.